Welcome to the Ranch Sitdown. Our guest today, Dave Perez.
I really hate to leave you, baby, but a man's gotta do what a man's got to do. There's people waiting on me, honey. I gotta make them shake, I got to make them groove. Well, I hate to be so unlovey-dovey, but a man's gotta do what a man's got to do. It's a long way down to Corpus Christi, when a man's gotta do what a man's got to do. Well, I know that you are gonna miss me. Hey, baby, I'm gonna miss you too. But if I'm late, we'll miss the money. So a man's gotta do what a man's got to do. Help me out one time, Johnny. Well, now I hate to leave you, baby, 'cause I know it drives you crazy. Yes, I do. But when I get home and we're alone, I promise I will make it up to you. 'Cause a man's gotta do what a man's got to do. Said a man's gotta do what a man's got to do. Baby, come on, Daryl. One more time, Johnny, help me out now. Now I hate to leave you, baby, 'cause I know it drives you crazy. Yes, I do. But when I get home and we're alone, I promise I will make it up to you. Yeah, 'cause a man gotta do what a man got to do. I said a man gotta do what a man got to do. Baby. Yep. Yeah, I'm a man. I'm gonna do exactly what I wanna do. Yes, I'm a man. You're a big man. And I'm gonna do exactly what I wanna do. And we're out of here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dave Perez hanging out with us here on the ranch, man. Very nice. And you brought some special guests with you today.
Yeah, some of my best friends in the whole world, man.
You surprised me because I thought it was just going to be you.
Yeah, well,
But we made it better. John Garza and Deryl Dodd in studio with us. Hello,
Yeah,
gentlemen. How
hello,
are y'all?
everybody.
How are y'all?
Hello.
Good to see you, man.
Don't they look good?
They look fantastic. Daryl's got the coveralls on. Hillbilly Chic. He is the Hillbilly Chic. That's the name of your next album, I think, right there. The Hillbilly Chic. Sounds like a Fowler kind of thing, doesn't it? It really does. So it has been 47 years, I think, since your last album came out, the Tejas Brothers. It's been about 10 years, hasn't it?
It's been, yes, a little over 10 years since our last album.
What have you been doing?
Man, you know what? We love to play live, and it's just so it's our fault. We get into this. We put blinders on, I guess. We just get so tunnel vision focused on the crowd and focused on the fun of the live performances that we just forget. Like, oh, we're also recording artists. We need to probably create some new content. When we do, we write songs and we do them live, but the last thing on our mind is getting into the studio because we can't take the crowd with us. But no, we're gonna put our big boy pants on, and say, hey, time to get back to work in the studio. And so we've got some new music that we're gonna be putting out very soon.
So that song we just heard,
that song is going to be on our next album.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. So is the whole album bluesy? What are we doing?
No.
You guys have always been all over the map, though.
Yeah, man. You know, it's hard for us to stay in one lane. Or one, you know, So yeah, no. To answer your question, that next album is going to be all over the place, almost just like every other album we've put out. It's going to be a little Tex-Mex, going to be a little country, a little Tejano, a little blues, some rock and roll. We might even throw like a little mariachi sounding song in there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just we're in Texas, and it's like if you go to a buffet of sound, I want everything.
You're going to play in Texas, you got to have an accordion in the band? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
We didn't change that Alabama song?
Yeah, man. Exactly.
So it sounds like this next project's going to be about 4 albums.
Right. Yeah. You know what? We might put some fiddle on it, too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, not too long ago, I just met Ben McPherson.
Yeah.
He came into the studio and recorded a song with me. I did a solo song called Another Silent Night. Kind of a Christmassy type feeling song. And he's great, so I might ask him to come into the studio and do some work with us on the Tejas Brothers record as well.
It's going to be an interesting album.
And the thing is, if people fall in love with the fiddle, they got to remember, you might love the fiddle, but the accordion is my main squeeze.
Oh, dear God. Good thing I wore my boots today.
Thanks for having us, Shayne. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's good to see you, John, Daryl. Great to see you, boys.
I've been thinking about that one for a long time. It's like, how can I work that in?
The Tejas Brothers have an interesting history. You basically, you guys kind of got started in the Fort Worth Stockyards.
Oh, not kind of, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is our home, man. This the Stockyards, Fort Worth, Texas. It was so instrumental for us because that was the first time that we formed the band. It was an open mic night at the. Can I say what club?
Yeah,
it was?
absolutely.
At the Stockyard Saloon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stockyard Saloon. There was a guy named Andrew that owns a place, and he let us get up there, and we were doing an open mic, and then we did it for a few weeks, and then he asked us to come back on a Saturday night, and we formed the band, and it was, man, fantastic. So
how frightening was it when he asked you to come back and do a Saturday night show?
Kind of
a little overwhelming.
Well, because Thursday nights it's like
let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see what happens. But it actually turned out to be great. And then so we came back on Saturday night, and then we were like, oh man, we got a real show. It's not an open mic. This is a real show. And then, man, but maybe a month later we got a call from 8 Air Saloon over in Dallas.
Wow.
And I was like, man, Fort Worth, Dallas, we're expanding huge.
We're a franchise now.
That song that I've been everywhere, man.
Yeah.
I've been to Arlington, Grand Prairie, Dallas, Fort Worth, Plano, Mesquite.
In the end, yeah. That's interesting. So, you picked up the accordion, I understand, at the age of 22.
Yep, that's right.
Why so late? And what made you say, you know what, that's the thing I want to play?
That is such a good question. I don't really remember why I decided that that's what I wanted to do. It just kind of sort of organically happened. But I got lost in downtown Dallas, went into a music store, asked for directions, and the guy sold me an accordion.
You guy's a pretty good salesman, man.
Great.
Like, I'll tell you how to get out of here, but first.
Right. And then I go into the car. I get back in the car, and I'm all happy. I got this new accordion in my trunk. I just can't wait to play it. And I turn on the car and like, wait. I still don't know where I'm going.
You go back and the place is closed and it's not really there.
He's
and it's like some
come
song.
back next week. I'll sell you a bassoon and I'll tell you how to get home.
You walk back up and the building's empty and you realize you're in the middle of a Guy Clark song. Yeah. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Well, that is, it's such an interesting instrument to play. And a lot of people don't know this about you. And I guess this hasn't changed. You can't play and sing at the same time.
I've gotten better at that.
Have you now?
I have gotten better at that.
Have you? I always thought that was the most interesting thing.
It was a handicap for me, and then I started kind of just like figuring out how to keep a rhythm and playing. Can't do it as good as some other people out there. But I have gotten a little bit better at that.
That's very exciting. And the thing with, the Tejas Brothers, we'll talk about them first. The thing with the Tejas Brothers is all people have to do is see you guys play. That is the most unreal live show ever. And I still remember the first year I ever saw you guys, and I love telling this story, was the year the power went out at Larry Joe's and that like tornado came through, and you guys played till like 3 a.m. with no power under that little metal tin roof thing for the crowd where everybody's holding, flashlights and lighters just to see anything. And it was unreal. It was one of those moments I'll never forget for my entire life.
Oh, me either. Was that like 2008 or 2009, something like? It was early on.
Oh, it's like 3 years ago. Let's be quiet.
Right. That was the first. Larry Joe told me. I never thought about it, But he told me, he says, that's the first time we've ever had a band that opened up the festival and closed it the same night.
Yeah.
The same year.
Nobody's ever done that.
No one's ever done that. We opened it. We were the first band. I think it was a Wednesday.
Yeah.
We were the first band on Wednesday and the last band on Wednesday.
Just a mud pit the rest of the week. It was great. It was
so,
you never see Deryl Dodd do that. He does his one set. That's it. You know how divas are.
Daryl, you were there that night.
I was.
Yeah.
He was kind of there that night.
There, anytime, anywhere, it's kind of there. But that's funny you mentioned that. That's historic that people know about that Tornadic night.
Yeah.
And things, and then you heard this music going on. Where's that coming from? And that's where I first saw you.
We were,
as well. And it was great.
And then the first time I had met you was over at the Stockyard Saloon in Fort Worth, the same night that I met Larry Joe.
Yeah.
That was
Stockyard's not to say that it's our backyard.
should write a song about that.
Oh, we got Casey down
His guitar's over there. He left it here one day. It's still here. Not the best guitar, let's be honest. We were just talking about, you were just talking about, excuse me, this new song of yours called Another Silent Night.
Right.
Incredible song, man.
Thank you
It's got a really cool, almost Merle Haggard type vibe to it, in my opinion, man. And it's like, I hear, and you always do a really good kind of Merle Haggard when you do country.
Well, I love Merle Haggard. Grew up on it.
Mm-hmm.
Before we go any further, though, it's not just my song; it's our song. Daryl and I co-wrote that song.
Be careful. You're going to have to give him some money.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
No, but it's great that you said that, because when John and I were going over the song, and I played it for John, and he says, how do you want to produce this? What kind of sound are you looking for? And I said, well, I'm kind of hearing like a Merle Haggard approach. And John was like, yeah, me too, big time. So then when I played it for Daryl over the phone, he says, Dave, I'm kind of hearing a Ray Charles big orchestra kind of sound, like the way the Country Genius album.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, and I went back to John. He's like, man, that'd be cool too. And then he called me back, maybe a day or two later, Daryl calls me back. He says, you know what, scratch that. I'm kind of really hearing Merle Haggard. I was like, yeah, we hadn't even told him. So we were all three on the same page. And then for you to say it kind of sounds like a Merle Haggard.
So,
you know,
Daryl went out and priced an orchestra, and that's when he said, you know what, Merle Haggard actually sounds a lot better.
Right.
Yeah, I did. But like you said, when you first heard that, I think you could hear that too. You know, it was really throwback and stuff.
Well, they're both classic sounds.
Yeah,
they really
the
are.
melody, everything to it would fit that. So
Yeah.
then I was thinking, because we both love Merle. And
Oh,
the
yeah.
thing is, anything like Dave and I have been playing stuff together for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
George Jones and Buck, and that era, we love that. He does it very good, like you said.
He
He's got
does,
another
man.
song. What's it called?
Oh, it's called The Wine and Whiskey
Yeah, I just
Toll.
want to let people know if they don't know. At some point, that's gonna be recorded.
Yeah, that'll be released as well. And it was great
Ah.
because the conversation we had when we were doing Another Silent Night, I brought up the song. It's called The Wine and Whiskey Toll, and I wrote that the day that George Jones died.
Oh, wow.
So what's really weird is that I could hear Shayne, I could hear George Jones' voice as I'm writing this song. And if it didn't sound like a line, if I wrote a line that didn't sound like something George Jones would have, I'd scratched it
Just
out.
kill it, yeah.
And then I went to, and so
Oh,
every
wow.
line in that, I can hear him singing, like totally singing.
Maybe it's standing
But-
right behind you now. You know this building's haunted, right?
So Daryl was like, hey, I can't believe you haven't done anything with that song. I said, no, we haven't recorded it, and that's, like I said, fault of ours.
Mhm.
We just, I don't know, we're so in tune with the live show, like you said. We love to play live. We're so we gravitate towards that. Going into the studio has always been, I don't want to say it was a chore, but it just never seemed as appealing.
There's no crowd there, yeah.
Yeah, I love the energy.
Yeah.
I do.
I can kind of equate it to you hear a lot of stand-up comedians. They'll get a TV show,
Yeah.
and they're like, and it's recorded, and there's no immediate response
Yep.
to the lines, and they're like, am I actually saying something funny? Because you don't get that immediate feedback.
Right.
And
feedback,
feed
yeah.
off of that and
Yeah.
then continue
Yeah.
down that path, yeah.
Yeah.
That's very true. You guys did a music video for this song, too.
Yes.
How weird was that for you?
It was, man.
I can imagine.
So I had a good time making that. This was a challenge for me. So a little bit of backstory. I was a drama nerd, big time theater arts. You know, I loved it. I performed and competed at a state level. Once multiple years, I won several awards, state awards, championship awards for drama. And
like one-act play
one
kind
act
of
play.
stuff? Yeah.
I did dramatic interpretation, humorous interpretation, duet acting. I mean,
Oh, wow.
I was really, did really well. And then when I started playing music, I always had in the back of my mind, I was going to go back into, and I haven't been on stage in such a long time as far as to act. But I've always had an admiration for filmmaking as well. I study films. When I watch a movie, I'll see the same movie 30 times if I'm looking at, you know, director's cuts and the way that the actors are directed and the lines are driven. So anyways, I did this video. I shot this video, came up with a storyboard, shot it on my phone.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, edited
in
on
Stephenville,
my phone.
right?
Yep, out in Stephenville. Had one actor, a friend of mine named Kurt Griffin. He was a former professional football player, and he did some arena football, and he got injured, but he still like stays in good shape. And I said, man, you're going to be perfect for this part. He says, why is that, Dave? Because I'm a lonely guy. I said, well, no, but yeah.
But
no.
yeah. Please don't beat me up.
Right. Right. But so no, we went to Stephenville and we recorded it at Bella Vita Ranch. It's like a wedding venue.
Yeah.
And that house that we filmed it in is actually where they rented out to like the bridal party. So that during the wedding. So really, it was, I was very proud of the way it came out. And if you're going to watch the video, you got to watch it all the way to the end to see a little glimmer of hope at the end of this sad song. Right?
I can't imagine watching yourself sing like that.
It's weird.
But it is.
It is. That was weird for me.
I hate seeing myself on camera. It's just, that's what I look like?
You know,
really?
When
God. Why did my wife marry me?
And when I first started singing, I did not like my voice. It wasn't even until probably about a year ago, I think I told Daryl, I said, man, I'm just now getting comfortable hearing my own voice.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Oh, how wild.
Yeah, because when the Tejas brothers first formed, I was not the lead singer. And then out of necessity, I had to become the lead singer. And it just was weird for me. But I'm comfortable with it now. I love to sing.
You artists are weird. So do you mind if we hear this new song?
Oh,
Another Silent Night? Do you mind?
Love it.
I'd love to hear it in this setting here. I think it's going to be pretty cool.
This is the only time we've ever played it outside of the studio.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Do you remember the words?
Yeah.
You good? Okay.
All right. Oh, there's a little triangle. It starts off with a little chime. Let me just go.
Ding.
Ding. Give me a C chord. Just another silent night. I'm all that's left inside this home. I've got to try and make things right, or I'll spend Christmas all alone. I try to tell myself, don't worry, she's bound to come back soon. But it's coming in a hurry. Still haven't heard a thing from you. All the lights are on the tree. Been trying to reach you on the phone, and now I'm down on bended knee. On this Christmas all alone. I still believe you'll come back to me. Still believe that you might call, 'cause miracles still come on Christmas. if they ever come at all. Bring your smile back to me, 'cause the only smile in this home is on the angel on the tree. On this Christmas all alone, darling, please don't let me be. On this Christmas all alone.
Very nice.
Thank
God,
you,
that's such a
brother.
good song, man.
Thank you so much. Great job on the solo,
Oh,
Daryl.
Man.
And that's the first time John's ever played it on the guitar. Or
That
played
is
it
true.
at
That
all.
is true.
Good job, brother.
Very nice. Very nice, man. So we're talking about new music, Tejas Brothers music, new Dave Perez music.
Yes.
So tell us the time frames on this stuff. Have you got anything in mind of when this is going to happen?
Yeah. Yeah. So our strategy is to release staggered. So
Mm-hmm.
we just did a Dave Perez first solo kind
Mhm.
of project. And the next thing that we're going to release is going to be a Tejas Brothers single.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably do the whole album, but we'll roll out some singles first. And then we'll stagger it with another Dave Perez solo. And at some point, hopefully, there'll be a Dave Perez album or EP or something. But yeah, we basically want to, the whole reason for the Dave Perez solo stuff is because Tejas Brothers, we have a certain sound that a lot
Yeah.
of our we don't have fans. We have friends and family and supporters.
You have fans.
We have,
You also have fans.
well, thank you. But what I was going to say is we have a lot of people that expect a certain sound when they hear a CD or listen to us on whatever, on the radio, whatever. They've got a certain sound
Mhm.
that they're wanting to hear. And so we don't want to let anybody down.
It's mainly the accordion. You notice there's no accordion on Just Another Silent Night.
You know, John, I wasn't going to say it, but
No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. I'm kind of half serious, but I'm obviously joking.
well, when Dave
Yeah.
gets that out of pawn, then we can go back to making Tejas Brothers album. What it was,
Right.
it was a tough November. All right.
Yeah. So our strategy is to watch the interest rates and make sure.
We're waiting till after the election to see how the economy did. Yeah.
Exactly right.
Oh man, yeah, I cannot wait to hear some more of this stuff, some Tejas Brothers stuff. It's been so long
I know,
since
man.
we've had it, and I'm not gonna keep. I don't mean to keep just twisting the knife there, but good grief.
No, but I love you for saying that, man. I appreciate it. It's motivating us. We're gonna get back in the studio and do some stuff. We might have Daryl come and produce some of those songs for us.
Daryl's been doing all kinds of production work, man. That stuff you've done with Ryder Grimes is incredible.
Oh, yeah, man.
Like,
Thank you. Yeah.
That's-
I love it. I haven't really been doing the performing thing as much
mm-hmm,
because things change and
Mhm.
new energy, new passion. And I love it's sort of like giving back, I guess. Mentoring some a lot.
Yeah.
As well as I love making sound. Hearing it go from a thought to now it's done. Enjoying that part.
You know what I was gonna say also? Like we've always had a good time in the studio when we record. John and I with the Tejas Brothers.
mm-hmm.
But this last time that I recorded this song as a solo with Daryl made me want to come back into the studio. Like, so he's a big motivating factor.
And you just said what it felt like to go into the studio in the past was more
Right.
of a chore than that
Exactly.
excitement. Yeah.
yeah, we always tried to have fun, but it always was a task. It always felt
Yeah.
like we had to.
Yeah.
But with Daryl, I was like, man, this is like, it was like hanging out, and before you know it, you got a song, and it's like we had a good time. And Daryl's just, I told him on the text, I don't know if I can say this, but
But he's going to anyways.
he when he wants to get you to do something musically on your instrument,
Mhm.
he cracks a gentle whip.
Yeah.
Before you know it, you've done something that you didn't know you were capable of. He brings the best out of you, and I love working with somebody like that.
I think every artist dreams of having somebody in the studio that understands what they're doing and what they're going through, help them on an album like that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
this could be a whole new thing for you, Double D.
Hey, man.
Man, this is really cool. You're going to be the next Dave Cobb in Texas. I'm like,
Wow, I like that.
Well, I think the best producers are guys that understand you and know your skill set,
Mhm.
but bring that out and put it in the front and actually help you become more confident within your skill set
Yeah.
You know, to make you sound better at what you naturally do, rather than trying to force you out of that arena. You know,
It's instincts, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, like a lot of things we all do in this world of music, but yeah, and Dave, of course, it helps when you really love a person.
Yeah.
And it's not work, you know. It's fun, and we enjoy it, and that's the main thing too. Is sounds cliche maybe, but it's really all about having fun. We forget that.
Yeah.
You have fun, and it shows. It comes out on the page, and it translates.
Yeah.
It does, man. Well, John Garza, Deryl Dodd, Dave Perez, thank you so much for hanging out with me today, man. It's been a pleasure and an honor, and so glad you guys are creating some new music again.
Thank you, Shayne. I love you, brother. Love you all.
Because I was sick of the old stuff.
We all are great.
Just for that, I'm going to go home and burn my mandatory FM t-shirt.
Oh my God, that's old school. I still have one.
I have one in my closet. And I wear it all the time.
Do you really?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I hope I didn't say anything out of off that I shouldn't have said. But
the radio station's not around anymore. It's okay.
You and your dad, man,
Yeah.
way back in the day, man, were some of our very first supporters. And man, man.
It was a fun time, man.
And it still is fun.
It absolutely is. Thank you, boys. Appreciate y'all.
Love you, brother.